Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to the video, TowerOfFantasy. My name is Ventus SGN. In this video, I'm going to give you my hands-on impression of Claudia. I have her weapon, the Guren Blade. I just got a new banner. I got that along with Frigg and Balmung. I got that at the same time. I'll do probably a separate video on Balmung later, but I definitely want to focus on Guren Blade and Claudia right now. If you are new here, do me a favor, hit the sub button and turn notifications on if you like TowerOfFantasy and other Genshin Impact-like games, because I do upload a majority of those videos to this channel. All right, so without further ado, let's just get into this and talk about the characters. So I've played with Guren for a few hours now, just getting the ropes, getting the hang of her and like learning exactly all of her little abilities and stuff like that. And I've got to say, like right off the bat, she feels like an amazing character. I have all of the characters now that I've got Balmung and Frigg, and I can tell you without any shadow of a doubt, with 100% certainty, that this character is one of the most funnest characters that's in the game right now. Second, probably only to Zero, because Zero is probably like one of my favorite characters to play with because he's so different and unique. But I was definitely waiting on Claudia to come out so I could have a katana and use that, because I love the EM Blade for the game, but the EM Blade is kind of a sucky weapon because it's so low tier. So now I have this katana that I can use that's not low tier, and it's actually really, really awesome. Now, as far as the abilities go, I'm going to run down the abilities, and I'm going to be completely honest with you here. I haven't read the abilities yet. I don't know exactly what they do. I mean, I've played with them for hours, obviously, so I know what they do, but I haven't, like, read all the stuff. So, if you haven't had the character yet, or if you, want to see exactly what these abilities do, I'm going to go ahead and read those right now and learn, me and you at the same time, what this weapon actually does. Alright, so here it is right here. I have it at 100, level 107. It's probably like the strongest weapon that I have right now. So let's see. Let's go to the skills. Actually, I just want to go to the skill and read that. I don't want to bore you with too much. Okay, it says roam. Dance through targets while swinging the blade, dealing damage equal to 418% of attack plus 1,318 to up to 5 targets. Consecutive hits on the same target deal 20% reduced damage. After roam has concluded, slash the space in front, dealing area damage equal to 264% of attack plus 832 to surrounding targets and suspend them. Immune to control effects while skill is in use, and all damage taken is reduced by 50%. Cooldown 15 seconds. Now that is actually really huge. Having a 15-second cooldown, I'll talk about that a little bit later. Let's read the discharge. Unbridled Flurry. When weapon charge is full or Fantasia is triggered, switching to this weapon from another weapon removes all debuffs from the Wanderer, who then rushes to and strongly suspends the target, dealing 523.3% of attack plus 1,650 damage, leaving behind a Blade Storm that deals 209.6% of attack plus 661 damage while gaining immunity to Grievous, Freeze, Burn, Electrify effects for 5 seconds. And she's got one dodge skill. It says Leap Attack. Tap normal attack during the short period after dodging or trigger leap attack, or to trigger leap attack. The Wanderer swings their blade and deals damage equal to 37.9% of attack plus 19 to the target, strongly suspending them while going airborne. Then deal additional damage equal to 56.8% of attack plus 179 to the target. And she's got some normal attacks here. And I won't go through all of those. But as I was playing with her, there's one thing that was strongly clear with her attacks, is that she is not really meant to fight a single target, although she can do it, but she definitely gets her shine off when she fights multiple targets. And that can't be more evident in the fact that her skill has such a low cooldown time. Like, you do her skill, you can switch to a different weapon, do that weapon's skill, and then come back to her. Her skill is cooldown again. And I keep getting pummeled by these things, which is not good. So let me reset here and finish these things off. I'll use my weapon. But yeah, compared to other weapons, like I said, I don't really have much experience with Balmung, so I probably can't really speak to which one is better. So I can't really speak to like Balmung, but other weapons that do like damage to a large group of enemies, like the Chakram. That weapon is really good for dealing damage to a group of enemies, and also my go-to weapon for dealing damage to a large group of enemies is probably going to be the Thunderblades. So when compared to the Thunderblades, I definitely think this is a welcome change. It definitely feels better to use this weapon other than the Thunderblades, because you get to do stuff like this. I love the animation of this. It feels like they really took their time and they just made the animations for this weapon just amazing. The dodge skill looks really, really cool. You can just go up in the air Like, it's just a really amazing weapon all the way around. I definitely have so much fun with it. Like, right now, I'm already at a mil damage out, looking at the damage stats between me and my partners in this mission. So it's definitely a good weapon. I definitely spent all day trying to get all the materials I needed to power this weapon up to get it exactly as strong as it is to level 107, so I could use it and make this video and give you my hands-on impression of it, and then do some more videos after that. And you know, later on, I'm gonna go ahead and give you my picks for chips to use for it. Right now, I'm using 2 SSR chipsets. I've got the King chipset, and I've got the Huma chipset, so I do a little bit of bleed damage every time that I do a dodge skill. So if I'm just going to give it grades on different topics, different subjects, I'm going to say the animations of this weapon, top tier. It's better than any other animations in the game, in my opinion, because I just love katana so much, especially in games like this. So I'm definitely going to give that an 8.5, maybe a 9. I don't want to give it a perfect 10 because I'm not sure exactly if there's going to be anything better. I can't exactly 100% say this is going to be the best animations for attacks, but they definitely went all out. It kind of sucks that they didn't give her another dodge skill. Like, some of these weapons, they definitely have 2 different types of dodge skills. So it's kind of bummy that they only gave us 1 dodge skill. I do have this weapon at 1 advancement, which is kind of crazy because I spent about $100, maybe $200 trying to get this weapon, and I didn't get it in any of the pulls that I got. But I did eventually end up being able to just use all the black gold, or whatever the gold it is, to just purchase the weapon. And then after I did that, I guess I just lied. I did another pull with just whatever I had left over, and it gave me another star of the weapon. So I got that, and then at the same time, I got Frigg too, and I think I got another Tsubasa. But no, what was I saying? About the animation? Yeah, the animations are great. Sucks they don't have a second dodge skill for the weapon. Let's see, let me hit this ultimate attack on this thing. Look at this. The damage is insane on this. Another weapon that I have that is grievous, like I was talking about the chakram, that does damage over like a wide area of people, of enemies. So it's good. I think that this one probably takes it in terms of which one is better. Like, I don't really have the chakram leveled up to the point where I can do a comparison, but I do have the Thunderblades leveled up to where I can do a comparison. So I definitely think that when it comes to versus Thunderblades, it has Thunderblades beat because of the sheer numbers and damage. And I guess probably one of the main questions that I would ask if I was asking somebody about the character is, how does she feel and is she good? I can say with 100% certainty, yeah, this character, this weapon is very good. It feels pretty powerful. Like, there are a couple weapons in the game that do feel powerful. Meryl's sword feels pretty powerful whenever you use it. The scythe, it definitely feels extremely powerful whenever you use it. So you definitely get that feeling of strength whenever you use the Guren sword, or Guren blade. Alright, so it looks like I can unleash hell again on this thing. Now, if you're not locked onto your target, it's gonna do that. Like, it's gonna do that little mist sort of thing. So you definitely got to be careful about that. Now, I wish I could go in all DPS, but I can't trust people in this game, the randoms, to take over and be the heals. So I definitely got to have, like, you always got to have heals. What am I saying? If I were going to put different chipsets, and like I said, I'm gonna make a separate video, so be sure to check in on that probably tomorrow or a little bit later on today. Is probably a chipset that focuses on physical damage. I know there's one out there that does give extra grievous damage, but for certainty, it's probably going to be the Sobek chipset that gives more damage with more enemies that are around, because this weapon, it definitely feels like a clear, like a room clearer, if you will. Okay, I'm going to be able to get in there with it and hit it with the ability. Look at that. Oh my gosh, those numbers are ridiculous. Did you see that? That's crazy how much damage that swords just did. And that's wild. So this is definitely one of my top 3 favorite weapons for sure. For a long time, I didn't want to use the scythe because I felt like everybody was using the scythe. Let's finish it off with this. Alright. So I ended up doing 6,800 damage, but I didn't have the most heals out, which is to be understood because I wasn't really focused on healing. So if I were to pair it with other weapons, like I said, I think this is a pretty decent build right here. You got the Scythe of the Crows, Nemesis Venus, and then this as one of your main DPS weapon. Another good build that I would probably use with it is the Chakram of the Seas. I think this would probably be a very nice build. You could probably switch out the Scythe of the Crows for Meryl's Rosy Edge. I think this is a pretty solid build right here as well. 2 swords. She's already like a sword maiden. So, I mean, yeah, definitely there are a couple different builds that you can play around with. But I think definitely having 2 Grievous weapons, that might be a good thing or it might be a bad thing. It will be a very good thing if you're fighting an enemy that is strong against the elements, Pyro or Fire or Flame or Volt or something like that, and you need like something else. So these 2 together would definitely be a super serious combination. But the sheer fact that this weapon is very good on attacking groups of enemies, you probably don't need another weapon that does focus on groups of enemies. So if that was the case, you need maybe a weapon that focuses on just a singular target. But if you wanted to just go out and deal as much damage as possible, I think that the combination of the Thunderblades with the Guren Blade and some other shield breaker weapon, probably the strongest shield breaker I have right now. Scythe of the Crows I've got that stronger than I have the Molten Shield V2, but I like the Molten Shield V2 better because of its burst damage. I don't know. It'll be a toss-up between these 2. But for right now, I definitely say that using the Scythe of the Crows with the Guren Blade and Thunderblades is probably going to be the DPS build right there for sure. Alright, so I hope you guys did enjoy this hands-on review of Claudia and Guren Blade. Definitely keep it locked to this channel for more videos coming for the new updates of 1.5. I'm definitely going to explore more of Artificial Island. I actually haven't been there yet. I'm going to make a video on the raid system. I did 1 raid so far today, and I thought it was absolutely amazing. So definitely sub to the channel. I would definitely appreciate you doing that. And if you did enjoy this video, hit the thumbs up. And check out some of the other content that I have made for Tower of Fantasy, because you might see something here that you really would like to watch.